Leo, today I have to tell you something that will change the way you see your own story. A big surprise and a big win are already on their way to you, ready to rewrite your life in ways you never imagined possible. This is not a small shift, not a gentle nudge forward. This is the kind of turning point where destiny steps in, where the universe places you exactly where you need to be, and where the past loses all power to hold you back. You are not here by accident. There is a reason you found this message at this exact moment. The same threads of fate that connect the stars in the night sky have been quietly weaving their way into your life, guiding you to this moment of clarity. I want you to pause for just a second and let yourself feel that connection. You are standing in a doorway between what has been and what is about to come, and what lies ahead is brighter, bolder, and far more rewarding than anything behind you. I want you to picture it, the great switch of the universe being flipped on in your favor. The heavy smoke of the past clears, and in its place, you are bathed in golden light. This is the light of your sign, the light of confidence, victory, and renewal. You have already taken the most important step, choosing to walk away from what no longer serves you. Maybe it was a toxic partnership, a stagnant situation, or a connection that once felt safe but was quietly stealing your power. Whatever it was, you made the choice to close that door. And in doing so, you invited in a higher frequency, one that matches who you truly are. This message comes to you today because the universe wants you to know, you are about to be sought out, not the other way around. An opportunity bid in business, career, or a venture that lights you up will come looking for you. You will not need to chase it. It will find you, and it will come with the kind of clarity and official agreement that removes all doubt from your mind. This is your win, and it is one you have earned. And while your hands are already opening to receive abundance, another door quietly opens, one that leads to the heart. There is someone who has noticed you for a while now, someone steady and sincere, someone who has been preparing to speak their truth to you. When they do, it will be straightforward, honest, and without games. And you, standing in the fullness of your own light, will recognize the safety and the peace this connection brings. Before we dive deeper into this reading, I want to take a moment to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Every view, every like, every comment, and every subscription is what keeps this space alive. You are not just watching a video, you are part of this community, a living, breathing circle of energy and faith that allows me to bring you these transformative messages. Your presence matters here, and I am deeply grateful for it. So here is what I want you to do right now. If you are ready to claim this big surprise and big win, and if you are ready to step forward into the chapter the universe has been saving for you, leave a comment below that says, "I am ready to rewrite my story." By putting it into words, you are already setting the energy in motion. Stay with me until the end, because what is coming next in this reading is something you will not want to miss, something the universe has been holding in its hands, waiting for the perfect moment to place it in yours. Leo, when the Eight of Cups appears in your path, it is not merely a symbol of walking away, it is the soul's quiet but unshakable declaration that you are ready for more than what has been. It speaks to a moment when you stand at the shoreline of your own life, looking back at waters you once trusted to nourish you, only to realize they have grown stagnant. This is not a decision made in haste. It is the slow, deep knowing that something or someone that once felt like home has become too small for the person you are becoming. Perhaps it was a colleague, a friend, a circle you thought you belonged to, or even a long-standing collaboration. There was trust once, maybe even warmth, but over time it shifted, and the energy no longer matched the rhythm of your spirit. Leaving such a connection is not simply about rejecting what is harmful, it is about honoring what is sacred within you. Think of it like tending a garden. There are seasons when you must pull out roots that no longer bear fruit, not because they were never valuable, but because the soil needs to breathe again. In the language of self-help and healing, this is an act of reclaiming space for growth, for clarity, and for the kind of joy that does not dim to fit into someone else's shadow. You are not abandoning, you are returning to alignment. From an energetic perspective, the moment you close a door that has been leaking your vitality, you signal to the universe that you are ready for a higher frequency of experience. The law of attraction works like a river. When you remove the blockages, fresh currents rush in to fill the space. This is why so often, after we release a draining relationship or environment, new opportunities appear with uncanny speed. The absence is not emptiness, it is fertile ground. But here is the truth many forget: the release must come with intention. Simply walking away without reflection can leave old wounds festering. That is why I encourage you, in this season of release, to integrate daily rituals that strengthen your inner foundation. Begin your mornings with 5 to 10 minutes of mindful breathing or meditation, letting your mind unclench and your body remember what peace feels like. Your nervous system needs this reset as much as your heart does. In those quiet moments, imagine yourself stepping away from the old with gratitude, even if pain still lingers. Gratitude is the thread that sews closure into the fabric of your story. Another powerful step is to write down 3 things you are thankful for because of this departure. They might be lessons learned, strength discovered, or the simple freedom to choose again. This practice reframes your narrative. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who lost something, you begin to see yourself as someone who created space for something better. And that shift in perception is magnetic. It draws in the people, the work, and the experiences that resonate with your renewed sense of self-worth. As you stand in this threshold moment, remember that endings and beginnings are not separate events. They are 2 sides of the same breath. Inhale, and you honor what has been. Exhale, and you release it to make way for what will be. Each step away from the old is a step toward the life you were always meant to live. And in that movement, you are not just changing circumstances, you are shaping the very energy that will define your next chapter. This is where your true liberation begins, not in the absence of challenge, but in your willingness to trust that you deserve a life that feels as expansive as the horizon in front of you. You have already chosen to walk. Now, let the path ahead prove why that choice was worth making. Leo, there are rare moments in life when you don't have to chase the opportunity, when it steps forward, knocks on your door, and calls you by name. This is one of those moments. In the language of astrology, your sign is ruled by the sun, the great source of vitality and illumination. When the sun is strong in your chart, as it is now, it doesn't just light your path, it becomes a beacon that draws the right people, the right offers, and the right circumstances toward you. You are in a season of magnetic alignment, where your energy and your readiness are meeting at the perfect intersection. I see the image clearly: a figure or an organization seeking you out, not because you asked, not because you competed for their attention, but because they have recognized something in you, an ability, a vision, a light that they need. This is the essence of the Justice card in Tarot, an official, balanced exchange, a formal recognition that what you bring to the table has value. It's a handshake that seals not just a deal, but a mutual respect. Whether this comes in the form of a high-value work contract, a business proposal, or a partnership that promises far greater returns than you imagined, it carries with it the weight of legitimacy and the clarity of intention. This is why you must treat it as more than just good luck. Opportunities like this are the universe's way of declaring that your previous efforts, your endurance, and the choices you've made to walk away from less than situations have positioned you for something far better. It's not a random stroke of fortune, it's the natural result of energy you've invested over time, now being mirrored back to you. You've shifted your frequency, and now your external reality is catching up. When such a moment arrives, awareness and preparation are your allies. Read every line of the contract. Understand not just the rewards but also the responsibilities that come with them. The law of attraction may open the door, but it's your discernment that ensures the step you take through it leads to sustained success. Set the tone for this new chapter by practicing intentional financial stewardship. Allocate a portion 20% of the first earnings if possible, a reserve that can protect your future. This act is more than just smart money management, it's a declaration to yourself and to the universe that you are capable of handling abundance wisely. In practical terms, this is also a moment to remember that while opportunity may arrive fully formed, it still requires your active engagement to thrive. Say yes with both confidence and clarity. Ask the questions that need to be asked. Negotiate from a place of self-respect, knowing that this offer came to you because you are uniquely positioned to fulfill it. You're not in competition, in collaboration with the forces that have been aligning behind the scenes. There's also an emotional layer to this kind of opportunity that often goes unnoticed. Receiving without chasing can feel almost surreal, especially if you've been conditioned to believe you must always fight for every gain. Let yourself absorb the reality that you are worthy of being sought after. Let that truth settle deep enough that it shapes the way you view every offer in the future. So, as this moment unfolds, stand in it fully. Trust that the timing is not just right, it's perfect. You don't need to revisit the old ways of striving and proving. You've entered a phase where your light speaks for you, and where the right doors open not because you forced them, but because they were always meant for you. Handle this gift with both gratitude and wisdom, and watch how it becomes the foundation for even greater victories ahead. Leo, the moment you are stepping into now carries the weight and brilliance of a long-anticipated victory. It is the kind of success that cannot be dismissed as luck because it has been forged through your persistence, your resilience, and your refusal to stop climbing when the path grew steep. Imagine standing at the summit of a great mountain. The air is thinner here, but it's cleaner too. The horizon stretches endlessly, and for the first time, you can see the journey behind you in full: the winding trails, the sheer cliffs, the moments you thought you wouldn't make it, and you realize that every single step was necessary to bring you to this exact point. This is not a prize handed to you by chance. This is the summit you earned, and the view belongs to you. In numerology, the number 8, which rules the month of August, is the number of power, abundance, and material achievement. It is shaped like the infinity symbol turned upright, a reminder that what you give to the world and what the world returns to you are forever connected. In this season, that energy is amplified for you. The wins you are experiencing or about to experience are a part of a cycle that you have been building toward, consciously or not, for years. They are a reflection of the energy you've invested, now multiplied and returned. There's also the language of color here, and for Leo, the palette of your victory is radiant: gold for wealth and recognition, orange for creativity and courage, red for decisive action and unshakable confidence. These are not just visual details, they are energetic frequencies. Surrounding yourself with these colors in this season is like tuning an instrument to perfect pitch. They align your mind, body, and spirit with the vibration of success. Wearing them, decorating your space with them, or simply visualizing them can anchor you in the truth that you are in your power now, and you intend to stay there. The key in this moment is to remember that victory is not just about arrival, it's about expansion. In the 3 days following this breakthrough, you have a window to stretch your reach even further. Say yes to the invitations that resonate with your goals. Schedule the meetings you've been putting off. Share your story in a way that inspires and connects. This is when your energy is most magnetic, and the ripples you create now will carry far beyond what you can immediately see. And do not forget gratitude. It's easy, in moments of achievement, to focus on the finish line and overlook the hands that steadied you along the way. Take time to acknowledge the mentors, colleagues, friends, even brief encounters that shifted your perspective. Gratitude not only honors them, it deepens the foundation on which your success rests. The universe responds to a grateful heart by keeping the channels of abundance open. This victory marks a turning point, not just in how others see you, but in how you see yourself. You are no longer simply striving, you are standing in a position of influence, choice, and freedom. The challenge now is to hold this space with both humility and authority, to recognize that you have earned the right to be here, and to use your elevated position not only to advance your own goals but to illuminate the way for others still climbing. This is the real power of your new vantage point, not just the view, but the ability to help others find their own path upward. And that, Leo, is the kind of legacy that no mountain can contain. Leo, after the climb, after the long stretch of proving to yourself that you could stand in your own power, something unexpected happens. You feel a softer kind of knock at the door of your life. It isn't loud or demanding. It doesn't arrive with grand announcements. Instead, it comes as the quiet, steady presence of someone who has been watching your journey from a distance, perhaps longer than you realize. This person has seen your strength, but more importantly, they've noticed the moments when you let your guard down, the spaces between victories where your heart still longs for genuine connection. They are not here to test you or to fit into an old idea of love that no longer serves you. This is someone who steps forward with a directness that is refreshing. No games, no endless guessing, no half-spoken words. When they speak, they will tell you exactly what they feel and exactly what they want, the chance to build something lasting with you. And because your energy has shifted into a place of maturity and self-awareness, you will recognize the rarity of this. It's not about intensity that burns out quickly, it's about a warmth that stays. In the language of energetic alignment, this is a meeting of two frequencies that have already been tuned to the same key. You've both grown into the people you are now through different paths, but your values, your visions for the future, and your emotional rhythms line up. That's why when you're with them, you won't feel the need to perform, to defend, or to hide. What you will feel is a quiet safety, a sense of being seen in a way that is both grounding and expansive. It's the kind of presence that makes the noise of the world fade into the background, leaving only clarity. Still, even with this promising alignment, the guidance is to remain open without rushing. New beginnings, especially those that have the potential for depth, need space to breathe. This is not about testing their sincerity. They've already shown it in the way they approach you, but about allowing the connection to grow roots before expecting it to bloom fully. Love that is built to last is not born out of urgency. It is shaped by mutual respect and a shared willingness to understand each other's boundaries. That is why communication will be your greatest ally here. Be clear about your needs, your limits, and your dreams. Invite them to do the same. This mutual transparency not only builds trust but also ensures that the foundation you're creating can support the weight of real partnership. Think of it like building a house together. You wouldn't rush the foundation just to see the walls go up faster. The strength of what you're creating depends on the care you take now. And as you navigate this, remember that love at this stage in your life is not about filling a void. It's about amplifying a life that's already whole. You've done the work to stand tall on your own, and now this connection offers you the chance to walk alongside someone whose steps naturally match yours. That is the beauty of timing. When the heart is ready, it doesn't need to be convinced that it simply recognizes what belongs. This is not just a romance knocking. It is a reminder that even after seasons of intense personal growth, there is room for tenderness. It is the universe's way of showing you that strength and softness can coexist, that victory and vulnerability can share the same space, and that your next chapter may be richer for having both. Leo, there's a certain poignancy that arrives when the past lingers at the edges of a new chapter. Someone from your history still carries the memory of what once was, holding on to a vision of the two of you that no longer matches your present reality. Perhaps they've held on to this hope quietly, or perhaps it's been visible in subtle ways, but it has lived in them nonetheless, a small ember they've never let go of. Now, as your life moves into a space of joy and connection, particularly if that joy is shared with someone new, that ember may flare into discomfort for them, not because of anything you've done wrong, but because seeing you thriving without them confronts the truth they've been reluctant to face. This is one of life's harder lessons. Not everyone who has walked with you in the past is meant to walk with you into the future. Closing a chapter doesn't always mean animosity or ill will. It means acknowledging that your paths have diverged, and that forcing them to converge again would be an act of resistance against the growth both of you are meant to experience. It's about understanding that some connections serve their purpose for a time, shaping us in valuable ways, and then, with grace, making room for new stories to be written. From the perspective of emotional healing, it's important to release the urge to manage how this person feels. You cannot rewrite their perception of the ending, nor can you carry the weight of their healing on your shoulders. Attempting to soften the truth for them can often keep you tethered to a dynamic you've already outgrown. Your role now is to stay anchored in your own alignment, allowing them the dignity and the space to process in their own way. The universe has a way of reinforcing our choices when they are in harmony with our highest good. Every time you choose not to step back into an old pattern, no matter how familiar or tempting, you strengthen the boundaries that protect your growth. Think of it like closing a door gently but firmly. It doesn't slam shut in anger, but it closes with the quiet certainty that what's on the other side is no longer meant for you. Your focus belongs on the road ahead, because that is where your energy will flourish. This doesn't mean you erase the memories or deny the good that may have existed. It means you hold them with gratitude for what they gave you, and then let them rest where they belong in the past. There is freedom in that, for both you and them, even if it's not immediately felt. When you choose to release someone from the present version of your life, you're also releasing yourself from the responsibility of being their source of closure. They must find that for themselves, just as you once did. This is part of the cycle of personal sovereignty, you own your choices, you honor your growth, and you trust others to do the same in their own time. It's natural for the heart to feel a tug of compassion in these moments, but compassion doesn't mean re-entanglement. It means wishing them well from a distance while fully embracing the chapter you are in now. The more you allow yourself to be fully present in your own journey, the clearer it becomes why that chapter ended when it did and why this new one holds everything you were meant to step into. So stand firm in your decision, Leo. It wasn't made lightly, and it doesn't need to be revisited. You've already learned the lessons that connection came to teach you. Now the work is to live those lessons unapologetically, wholeheartedly, and with the full confidence that the story you are writing now is exactly where you're meant to be. Leo, as we reach the close of this message, I want you to remember that everything we've explored today has been leading you back to one central truth: you have the power to rewrite your story at any moment. The chapters that came before have shaped you, but they do not define the ending. This season is about rebirth, about the universe restoring balance in your favor, and about you stepping fully into the authorship of your own life. You are not at the mercy of chance. You are an active participant in the creation of what comes next. I want you to pause and truly let that sink in. The big surprise and the big win we've been talking about are not just external events, they are reflections of the shifts you've already made inside. They are confirmations that the choices you've made to walk away from what no longer serves you, to trust your own timing, and to open yourself to new opportunities were the right ones. This is the universe's way of saying, you were right to believe in yourself. So, here's my invitation to you: take one small but deliberate action today that aligns with the life you want to live. Write down one goal that excites you, and then outline 3 clear steps you can take toward it in the next week. They don't have to be monumental, they just have to be intentional. When you act in alignment with the life you're calling in, you send out a signal that the path is clear and you're ready to receive. I know change can feel overwhelming, but remember that transformation is built on moments just like this, moments when you choose to move forward without looking back. You don't need to have every detail figured out. You just need to take the first step, and then the next, trusting that each one will bring you closer to where you're meant to be. As you go forward, I encourage you to carry the energy of gratitude and confidence with you. Gratitude keeps your heart open to even greater blessings, and confidence ensures that you'll claim them when they arrive. And they will arrive, Leo, sooner than you think. Thank you for sharing this time and space with me here on Eternal Mindfulness. Every view, every like, every comment, and every subscription is not just support for this channel, it is an act of co-creation, a way of keeping these messages alive and reaching those who need them. I'm deeply grateful for your presence and your trust. Now, I want to hear from you. If you're ready to step into this new chapter without hesitation, if you're ready to embrace your victory and your rebirth, leave a comment below saying, "I choose victory and rebirth." Let this be your declaration, your energetic signature to the universe that you are ready for what's next. Because you are, Leo. And the truth is, the future you've been waiting for is already reaching out to meet you. Are you ready to take its hand?